All right. So thank you, Bill and Aaron, for coming onto this follow-up Zoom from last week. I am actually now with my talented wife, Andrea. So she's here with me, next to me, as we're walking. So obviously we had a very productive first introductory Zoom last week. So this is a follow-up to see how we can take our talking into actionable walking. And obviously, Bill, I think, with your expertise in, conflict management and bringing people, delivering the right message in the right way, I think that's potentially a very valuable asset to myself and our global alliance, our collective. As I mentioned, I've established, without sounding too arrogant, a pretty powerful connectivity around the world. And we're doing a lot of great activities. And obviously, one of the things that I want, again, without sounding too arrogant, is to deliver my message to, the entire world or 8 billion people. And, and I'm fully aware that, I need as much assistance on that. So my wife is like a filmmaker. She's an absolute media guru. Even though she's young at heart, she's actually mega talented. The creation of her marketing stuff is outstanding. I may be biased, of course, but I say I worked for multi-billion-dollar company like Thermo Fisher, 40, 50 billion, and we had millions of dollars of marketing. But what she created is, I've said to you, even taking my bias into consideration, is this far superior to what I previously used to. So I'm blessed to have such, like I said, talented people, in my midst to help me deliver, this divine message. And now, thanks to Aaron, I know, Bill, have you that potentially can be, a major asset for what I want. Of course, it's not just a one-way street. I want to make sure that I make, my network, my mouth, my resources available also, of course, to you, Bill, and as well, Aaron, who obviously I connected through Manatorium group. So now, before we dive into perhaps the mechanism for us to, collaborate, partnership, etc., I just want to give you some key projects, things that I and our collective are doing now, which I think may be potentially a good fit for you, Bill, and obviously Aaron, to be involved in. So yesterday, my wife and I was actually at a meeting with the mayor of Newark. Newark is a major metropolis here in New Jersey. If you fly into New York Airport, one of the main international New York airports is actually Newark. So it's listed as a New York airport, but it's actually based in Newark, New Jersey, but they count it as a New York International Airport. So it's a major hub, not just an international airport, but it's a major seaport hub as well. So we're discussing with the mayor about how turning Newark into potentially the next New York City. We have interested part. In fact, my goal with my Chinese partner is to do a sister city between Hainan City and Newark. Hainan is the richest city, or is actually a province in Hainan City. It's where all the billionaires and millionaires of China go and things. So that is a joint partnership. So despite what Trump is trying to do, basically have a fight with everyone, not just the Chinese, but the European, you name it. Trump wants to fight everyone. So despite Trump, or maybe in spite, because like I said, sometimes it needs someone like him to make people sit up and take notice and say, so despite that, that's one of our bridge building exercise. And that's where, again, maybe divinely, Bill, that's why you came into our life, because you're a conflict negotiator, mediator. So this is exactly the time that we want. So we're working on various major projects with Newark City. In fact, I'm going back there, me and my wife, tomorrow actually, to meet the international relationship to discuss further linking of China City, Hainan with Newark City. So that is a bridge building that we are working on between those US and China. Potentially, obviously, there's got to be a lot of things that has to be done, but that is an area which I think, Bill, you could potentially come in down the road to be part of our discussion negotiation team. Did you want to say something, Bill?
Yeah, I don't know if you know, but I spent a month in China last year in July, and I'm actually learning to speak Chinese, learning Mandarin. So I don't know whether that will be useful one day or not.
Absolutely. Well, you put me to shame because I'm trying to learn Spanish and Chinese on Duolingo. I'm pretty pathetic at it, to be honest with you. Not because of Duolingo. Duolingo is actually a very good software. Just like I'm pathetic. That's all. When it comes to languages, it's like so you put me to shame. So Bill trying to learn Chinese. So yeah.
I speak Spanish.
You speak. Bill speaks Spanish.
Perfectly.
Well, Bill, well, as I said, hopefully next. Yeah, my wife just said wrote to you in Spanish. Did you say that again? She said that's wonderful. You heard that? My wife just said. But anyway, so that's fantastic. So that's one potential. I mean, now there's got to be a lot of, you can't just marry two cities together. There's got a lot of things that has to be done, etc. And there may be a meeting either US or China that needs to be done between the various parties. And when we plan that schedule, that maybe so I'll keep you in the loop on that anyway, Phil. So obviously, and as you know, we're also building bridges to Africa as well. In fact, I'm speaking to another Monitorium partner, which Aaron probably knows, Astrid. She's based in Germany. So right now, I'm linking Astrid to our African partner as well. One of the goals that we have is to do a country licensing for Monitorium into Nigeria. We're very prominently connected to Nigeria, Sierra Leone, sort of West Africa area. In fact, September Monitorium transfer event, which we're coordinating, we want to coordinate that with the UN intercession of the General Assembly here in New York City. So we're going to transfer on we're trying to put on a UN. We're trying to put on a UN parallel meeting with our collective. So,
Leon, just to cut across, sorry to cut across you. I don't know if you're walking or if you're staying still, but you're coming in and out of where your mic is, so it is kind of difficult to hear. I am picking up senses because of my so hypersensitive hearing, but I'm not too sure about Bill.
Yeah, sorry again. I apologize for that. I am walking and there's a very strong wind. I'm going to go inside a building. Hopefully, that will quiet things down. All right, okay. So I'm inside. I'm inside now, so there's no wind. So again, apologies for.
Oh, it's okay. Enjoy technology and moving and walking.
All right. So can you hear me better now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, that's good. Yeah. So that's one thing is the U.S.-China relationship that we're trying to build through our collective. The other one, like I said, is African relationship. Related to that is we're hosting, hopefully in September, a UN parallel event. We have tentatively, potentially, the Nigerian president, Bolo Tinubu, as one of our prime guests. Again, that hasn't been confirmed yet. We're working with him on that and his official. But if that UN event happens in September, I said September is the gathering of the UN General Assembly, the 80th session. And I'm on the board of 2 UN NGOs, so that's why I have a connection there. And again, Bill, this could be a great connectivity to have someone of your expertise, in the media, not in the media, in the meditating ability to be part of what we're trying to function here with our UN partners. So those are 2 major international events, Bill, that I and our collective are pursuing right now, which I said down the road, this can be a major asset for us. Now, we are also signed up a MOU last month with Hawaii State. Hawaii, basically, we're putting on a grand festival music event. We have signing up potentially Jamie Foxx, a famous comedian, to be our major host. And then we're going to put on a grand festival with major superstars like Lady Gaga, Beyonce, those kind of things. So we're putting that on. Now that concert will be likely next year or 2007. So we're in the early development phase on that as well. But that is, again, to bring Bill Bridges and, bring harmony, peace, etc. So all these events is something that obviously there to get out our message, and obviously my personal message. And that's something that perhaps Bill, again, and obviously Aaron included, can be a major thing for us to potentially collaborate on. So those are three big major international. Now, those are big, those are long-term, those will take a lot of effort and work on a lot of parties front. And I'm going to keep you both obviously in the loop on those. But perhaps we should start on something smaller, on a smaller scale, to basically dip our toes in together and work things out. So is there anything specific, Aaron, Bill, that you perhaps feel that we should, work on, develop, and, before we I throw you both in the deep end on those big projects that I discussed. All right. Any comment, Bill, Aaron, on those?
You got anything to say, Aaron?
Oh, I'm thinking what to come up with. I'm kind of a blank page. You, Bill?
Yeah, me as well.
Well, Bill, may I ask you? You obviously organize events, right? Training programs, etc. Have you adapted, or have you actually done any of those training programs with US partners? Are those things that do you have US partners that basically you work with to basically promote your training program?
No, I don't.
Okay.
I don't actually run open training programs. I'm more concerned with other people that run them. So they run them, and I'm head of the organisation they belong to, and that certifies their trainings. But I looked at your film in the week.
Yeah.
And I've been attempting to read the book. I've got about halfway through it, I think. I don't understand a lot of it, I must admit.
Well, it's very technical, yeah.
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 But I enjoyed the film. I thought the film was very good, and it gave me a good idea of, what you're trying to achieve in terms of spreading your story. But exactly how I can help you, I'm at a loss, like Aaron at the moment.
Okay, well, just to give you associated with the book and the film is I set up my own religious entity called One God, One Religion. So I make no bones about it. I'm actually starting the first fact-based religion. It's called the One God, One Religion. So that's deliver my message. And yes, is it start a religion? Absolutely. It's a fact-based religion. Yes. So it differs from the other faith-based religion, or that's what I are promoting. It's not a faith-based, not a believe me, the thing. No, it's fact-based. It's like in terms of I read in books, the equations, the numbers, the proofs, the logical definitions. So that is my holy Bible. That is my commandments, which I even put 10 new commandments in there. So that's something that is ultimately what I am building for myself. And in truth, that is what I'm building through our collective. All these entities that I'm doing, the Hawaii Grand Festival event, the New Wave project, yeah, the infrastructure thing, but I make no bones about it. They're there to help promote my godly divine message. So whether you think that it's insane, over the top. That is ultimately my goal. The reason I'm mentioning this is you have to digest that, and you have to be cognizant. I don't want to hide anything. I don't want to, make you think you're doing something and you're not. You're doing so. That is my ultimate goal. So everything I do through myself, through our global collective, is always with that divine mission in sight. Therefore, when you have a chance to digest on it, reflect on it, and think that whether you fit in or you don't fit in, right? And like I said to you, it's like there's no harm in we could just stay as friends and whatever as well. But if you feel you fit in, I just want to be totally clear, totally transparent with you both, so that there's no misunderstanding that you think you don't want to be involved with some nutcase with a religious zealot, which I am. Nutcase religious zealot, absolutely. I welcome that label. I don't shy away from anything. I believe confrontation is what needs in a peaceful way. Like I said to you. So I just want you to be totally be aware of that. So yeah. So there's a lot of information for you to digest, both for you, Bill, and for you, Aaron. And maybe you need more time. Like I say, you're only halfway through the book. Yeah, the book is quite, let's just say, technically heavy, because obviously there's a lot of stuff in there. But I suggest you both digest on what I'm saying. And again, I'll send you this recording so you have it again for reference. Digest and reflect over the next week or two or months or years, whatever it takes. And then you can come to me and say, well, there's no fit there, which again, not a problem. We can stay friends or whatever. And I'm happy because Liverpool are English Premier League. So no matter what you said, even you told me to F off today, I'm still happy because Liverpool are champions of England. So there's nothing you can say to me that will make me unhappy today anyway, because of Liverpool. So,
So in your mind, you've heard Bill and I's things, bar the big projects you have. Is there anything in your mind you feel like we could be a fit for you?
Yes, because Bill's again, I've not done much too in-depth research, Bill, you think, but you're a conflict, someone that bridges gaps, and that's something which, again, I don't claim I'm very good at negotiating conflict or easing conflict, because I said I'm a very volatile person, as you may. I'm pretty headstrong, so when it comes to conflict negotiation, I normally side with one party and I scream at the other party. That's how I get involved in conflict. I don't sit on the fence. I go on one side of the fence and I scream at the other side of the fence, which is not, in most cases, not the ideal way of resolving conflict, and I'm aware of that. But and that's why I brought up the issues on the UN, the Newark. That is maybe where a trained conflict resolution person like Bill could potentially be the voice of myself or my organization to deliver the right message, and maybe someone that can sit on the fence. And you don't have to be on the fence, but you pretend you sit on the fence and basically help resolve conflict, because a lot of the stuff I do are very complex. Don't get me wrong, I can play the political nicety when I have to. When I have to, but like I said to you, I can be very, let's just say, pig-headed and over the top at time. So that's an area potentially where Bill, and that's why I'm trying to identify scopes of plan. So one area of scope of plan potentially I could do is to Bill, look at how you package, because I'm not yet read your ebook yet. So one avenue is to see how we can take your program, if it's as effective as you claim it is. I'm sure it is, because you put it into practice, and either try to implement that or ask you to come on board one of these projects or all the projects on behalf of our collective, and be the trainer to resolve these various thing. Again, the reason why I brought up the religion thing, as you know, I'm getting a lot of conflict from religious people and scientific people. When I brought up the scientific thing, they laughed at me 20, 30 years. They're no longer laughing at me, because now they're jumping on the bandwagon. Now they've seen it. So a lot of them are now multiverse and all that stuff. So, but those are still areas that can be very conflicting for a lot of people. And those are areas that, again, based on, Bill, your ability, your program, that we can or cannot implement may be of great value to us. So this is early days yet. And I don't claim, like I said to you, you've not digested all the information I've given you. And similarly, I'm not digested all the information you've given me yet. So that give us some time to digest on either side. And then we can both then decide whether there's a common path for us. I believe there is, but we just got to, like I said, find that link that brings us together. So right now, we don't have that. And that's why I'm throwing a lot of these ideas, a lot of these projects to you so you can digest it. And then I want to be transparent to you by telling you what my ultimate goal is, setting up the one religion that's going to conquer all religions, all that, blah, blah, blah. And you think I'm insane, that's fine. I don't care. I'm still going to go down that path. But if you don't think I'm insane, or you think that's something that you excites you, thrill you, that you're going to conquer the world with me, then hallelujah, let's move forward, okay? But we don't need to make that decision right now. Right now, it's just a matter of talking, a matter of digesting all the information, a matter of saying, is this realistic? Of course, I believe it's realistic, because that's my mission. So that's one thing I'm very good at. Okay, stop
talking, okay? Because I just want to say that looking at your book and looking at your ideas, I don't think it's necessary that I buy into the fact that you've seen God and you can measure it and you can prove it. I don't think that's necessary.
No, absolutely not. I have people that are part of our collective that don't believe in God, they're atheists. So, so that's fine. Absolutely. You don't have to be, quote, brainwashed into that. Absolutely not. I don't need people that need to be brainwashed into that. So, totally agree with you 100%. You don't have to buy into that.
Yeah. So therefore, understanding that, it means we could work together if it becomes valuable and necessary. I've also worked with various UN organisations in various parts of the world. I've actually been in Nigeria and worked there. And so, there's a number of things that you're talking about that I can identify with, at least. And so I think that's the thing, is for us both to spend more time getting to know what one another's capable of, and then talking about specifics. Then
all right.
Just a bit early to get specific at the moment, I think.
No, I totally 100% agree with you there. So again, thank you, Bill, Aaron, for your time. So I think this still has been a good, productive chat for us to clear the air, for us to put down our markers down so we know where we're coming from both sides, and to see, like I said to you, where we can help each other mutually to our mutual benefit, which is, like I said, make a win-win for both of us, for all of us, I should say. Okay? All right.
Okay, perfect. Thank you, Miss.
Okay. So again, I'll keep you both in the loop of my activities on all those other fronts that I mentioned to you. So that way you know exactly the path that I'm going on. And then you may say, well, this is the right time for you to go in, or whatever. And we'll keep the conversation going. We don't need to make another Zoom until there's some more clarity. So I suggest we digest the information from both parties, and then when there appears to be a clearer path going forward, then I'll set up a next follow-up Zoom, so we basically can go into specific detail or specific projects. Say, we both want to work on this, we want to work on that, etc., etc. So we can be more specific. But like I said, I'll keep you guys in the loop on my various activities, which I feel potentially we can be. Yeah, so we'll keep you on the loop on that. And then when you're ready, whether it's a week, a month, a year from now, then we can lock it in then. Okay, that sounds good to you both?
Perfect.
All right. Well, thank you very much. And again, my apologies for being on the road. Take good care of yourself. God bless you both. And I'll talk to you again soon. Okay, take care. Bye-bye.
Hang on.
Bye-bye.
Hang on.
Bye.
No. Wait a minute.
Yeah. Sorry, you want to say something, Bill?
Just check in to see whether Aaron wants to say anything.
Oh, okay. Aaron, you want to say anything?
No, I don't, to be honest. I think we're all kind of finding a space for each other and we're all trying to explore each other where we can collaborate. So I think what is said so far is perfect.
All right.
Let's come back and digest this and figure how we can get the ball moving. I think time is
Excellent.
be there.
Excellent. All right. Well, thank you, gentlemen. All right. God bless. We'll talk again soon. Take care. Bye-bye.
Okay, guys.
Bye.